always hate this day. We may not win a game next year. I have to come and get reminded of who all's gone. But proud of our guys. I thought they competed well today. Great to see the turnout that we had. I mean, just a tremendous amount of interest in our guys and our program. And, had a great meeting with everyone this morning, the coaches and scouts and GMs and several of the head coaches. But I thought our guys competed well, and now we'll move on. I guess they'll move on to the next phase, which will be some private individual workouts and then the draft. I think several of these guys are going to have opportunity to hear their name called in May.
What about Kevin Dodd's story? A year ago, you weren't even sure he would be a draftable kind of player, and now these people are here talking first rounder.
Well,
how he improved his draft stock?
Yeah, I think this time last year I felt like he'd be draftable. I didn't know that he would be a first round type of draftable guy because we just hadn't seen that production yet. But he's a great story, and then Shaq, I think it speaks to the development of our young men, the culture of our program. Marion Hobby, there's nobody better in developing those defensive ends than Big Marion. I mean, you just look at Tavares made it last year, Corey made it last year, Vic made it last year, and then you got Dodd and Shaq coming out. He's coached Malachi, he's coached so many of these guys. He's just been tremendous. So, but we've had a little bit of everything. We've had guys like Shaq who kind of came in here, and he was as advertised. And then we've had guys like Vic Beasley that was a running back, or a guy like Kevin Dodd who, really had a long way to go. But you got to give those young men the credit because they bought in and put the work in. But Kevin is a great story. And just makes your heart feel good. And then the fact that he stayed in school so that he could graduate this May. I think that speaks volumes to just how he thinks.
How close to NFL ready is he?
He's as ready as you can get. He's 5 years removed from high school. He went to prep school. He's been challenged on this practice field. He's played at the highest level, and he's played well on the biggest stages. So he's definitely ready for the next step.
Do you think that the run that this team made last year, with all these guys in the spotlight in such huge games, gives them a leg up on a lot of the other guys in this draft?
Well, I mean, I definitely in just the aspect that they've got good film. They played well. I mean, this is a game of performance, not potential. I say that all the time, and so there's a lot of good tape, and they've consistently played well. This is the winningest senior class in the history of the school. These guys that are coming out this year in this class have been incredibly successful. 3 out of the last 4 years finishing in the top 10. So, that's certainly helps. There's no question, and so that's why all these guys are here. Because you don't beat the type of people that we've beaten without having good players. So it all goes hand in hand.
Okay, about the hand-in-hand thing, too, with the success you guys have had, and then when you put these guys in the pros and don't just go there but succeed, does that in turn kind of help your recruiting? You guys see what you're doing? Yeah,
well, absolutely. That's something that I keep up with. Since I've been the head coach, we've had 71 guys get a shot, either draft or free agent, and 53 have made the roster. That's 75%. That's and you're talking, because only 1.6% of college players play in the NFL. So absolutely, it's something that's important to all these guys. They all want to have opportunities to play at the next level, and so we keep up with that. But our guys are graduating, and I think they're sticking because of the culture that they're coming from. You see, everybody knows Sammy Watkins is going to go, and Vic, but Adam Humphries goes and is a free agent and ends up catching 35 or 40 balls as a rookie for the Bucks. Starts his first ever NFL game. Those are the things that people don't see. Deshaun Williams making it, Tavares Barnes, and I think they're sticking again just because of how we handle our business here and the overall development of them outside of the football field.
Have people do you run your program kind of like, I know you have time constraints in that, but is it sort of a pro type of program that you run in terms of scheduling and meetings and that kind of thing?
Well, I've never been in the pros, so it'd be hard for me to answer that. But I know, I mean, we have a very systematic approach as far as how we do things. We're very organized. You know, we have a 20-hour room here, so we have to operate within that. So we're very structured. We're very efficient with our time. We maximize our time. We have a daily focus, and we don't really vary from that. And our guys have bought into that. So, but as far as the pros, you know, it's probably a little different. But structurally, as far as how we value the time that we have and the efficiency of it, that part's probably similar.
Dabo, why won't the size and stature of McKenzie hold him back at the next time?
I mean, just turn the tape on. You know, he plays 6'5". So same reason it didn't hold Russell Wilson back. He's just a great player. He's a great player, and when you get between the lines, you don't know all that stuff that people like to talk about. It becomes performance, and he's covered everybody. Everybody. He's been just on our practice field. He's had some great ones right here, and I've seen it day in and day out here. I've seen it on game day. Hardly anybody throws at him, and he's just a strong, you know, physical guy. You know, he's not 6 feet tall, but he plays it. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's how you play, not how you look.
People make too much of the fact he didn't get an interception.
Oh yeah, I think so. Didn't have many opportunities. Not many people throwing at him. Yeah.
Was Kevin showing flashes?
And he only played 2 years.
Was Kevin showing flashes when he could be in practice a year ago?
Yeah.
But behind just
well, we had
players?
6 D linemen leave last year. 5 of them made it in the NFL, and you know, everybody was like, "Well, what are you going to do?" This and that. I'm like, "Well, we'll be all right." You know, we felt like Kevin Dodd was ready, and we knew Shaq was ready. So, you know, the big question for me last year was, could we keep them healthy? Because it was such a drop-off, because it was Kevin and Shaq and then all freshmen. So, you know, I think all of us as coaches were very confident in his ability to go and win at a high level for us. But, man, he played, you know, maybe even above what anybody thought. I felt like that he would be back. He would have come back another year, but he went and earned this opportunity.
Was his? I imagine his age was a factor because y'all recruited him a long time ago. So.
As far as him coming out, no, the factor was where he's going to be drafted. I mean, what difference does it matter if you're 25 or 26? I mean, that doesn't really matter. It was just really more his performance, or 23 or 4, whatever it is. But I think he was probably leaning toward coming back. He got a second-round grade, and but then he goes and dominates in the national championship game. I think that changed things, and rightfully so.